So in our LMS deck, we have 300 courses. And out of these 300 courses, I want tax courses to be available only to the folks who are under tax vertical, right? So this catalog is the one which is going to help to provide access. Similarly, the consulting related courses will be available only for the consulting folks. Okay, means here we have a security like the shape of catalogs which will provide access to the particular target audience only. Okay, and to track mandatory courses we have curriculums. To track mandatory courses, compliance based courses. Okay. Apart from that, new hire orientation program, which we call NHO, means any new hires, they have to complete certain courses within the first 30 days, right? So that programs also will be assigned and tracked by curriculums. Okay, and for continuous learning we have programs. For continuous learning, we have programs concept. Okay, and most importantly, to track every activity, like there is an online course which is for 2 hours. Okay, and I spent only 5 minutes. Okay, so that also my manager and administrator can spend. Okay, now Sudhir has completed 5 courses. Out of 5 courses, what is the actual duration of the course for the online, and how exactly this user Sudhir has spent on that particular course. Okay, so that can be tracked via reports. You have standard reports of 134 reports. Okay. We have reports for users, you have reports for managers, you have reports for instructors and administrators. Okay, and we have one more thing like audit trail report also. Audit report. Okay, so with these functionalities, we are going to stitch learning management suite which a customer requires. Okay. Okay, are we good, guys? So now you got some clarity that what is learning management system and success factors and how we are going to use this learning management system to stitch your customers' requirements, right? So any questions?
Yeah, perfect. We are comparing those who are done in HCM like training and event management. We can compare the naming conventions with this.
Exactly. So now the question is, LMS is equal to like LSO and EM in HCM. Okay. Anyone who worked on learning solutions and training and event management. So the combination of LSO and EM is our LMS. Okay. And guys, I forgot to security. You know, with this security piece, I sold licenses, more than 20,000+ licenses to Cipla. Only with the security, because Cipla is a pharma industry, okay, pharma company, wherein that they already implemented SAPA. Sabha learning management system, wherein in that Sabha, administrator can do anything like the course which is owed you by certain employees, he is deleting that. Okay, so end of the day, they were caught up in the audit trail. Okay, any from pharma, there shouldn't be any record to be deleted. Their Sabha is not able to suffice that requirement. Just with this single liner, and I showcase the product for only 7 minutes, less than 7 minutes, I sold more than 20,000 licenses for Sabha. Okay, this is a wonderful piece wherein you can use this security like anything. Okay, now I want to give one classic example. So our customer is located in 3 different locations. It can be like different countries or different states. Okay, let us take as different countries: India, China, and UK. Let us say Australia. Okay, so now any administrator from India, they are not supposed to access data of the other 2 countries. Yes, we can restrict that. Okay, and further bifurcating, in India, we have regions in 8 locations. Okay, and that location administrator is not supposed to assign any course or track any record of the users who are coming from or who are working from other 7 regions. Yes, in that case also, you can further restrict that. Okay, this is one piece of security piece from administrator end. Okay, and now we have instructors. Okay, in instructors, if you want to give only certain access to the instructor, like printing the attendance sheet, apart from that, you don't want to give any access. Yes, you can revoke access from that instructor. Users, and for users, you want to give only limited access. Now with the users, we will be having different set of users like permanent employee, contract employee, and vendor. Okay, so for vendor, you want to give learning access, but only a minimum learning access. Yes, further you can bifurcate that user as a vendor, and for contract employee, you can give certain access, and 100% user access you can give for your permanent employees. Okay, these pieces, okay, with 3 slides, only 3 slides, and 7 minutes, we sold many licenses. Okay, this is a wonderful business. Okay, wherein every customer will love this securities. Okay,
It's as good as RBP.
exactly.
Yeah, and what is the difference between catalog and security?
The catalogs is nothing but we have courses. Okay, now we have courses for tax 20 courses, consulting 30 courses, and audit 10 courses. Okay, what this catalog will do, with this catalog, I am going to give access to the audit folks. We have in audit 200 employees. Okay, I am going to give those 10 courses only to the 200 employees. Okay, with the catalog. And in consulting, you have 130. Likewise, but at the security level, the security is like in tax, entire tax, and consulting and audit. I have 30 vendors. Okay, 30 vendors who is entering into my premise to work. I want to give them a learning access wherein they have to finish only 2 courses. Okay, and they shouldn't see any other user data. Okay, permanent user data. And they cannot recommend any course to the permanent employees. That can be achieved from security.
It's a combination of catalog and security. You can make it like that. Okay.
As of now, you can take it like that, but exactly it is not. Okay. But going forward, you will be getting a difference between exact catalog and security. Okay.
Okay.
Requires 10 to 12 classes to understand that. Okay. So this is a overview of LMS, guys. So if everyone is good, then we'll dive into the instance and we'll start we kick off our learning management system. How to start and what is the modus operandi to implement your learning management system. Are we good? Any questions in the introduction of learning management system or overview, high level overview?
No.
This one. Who's this? Sorry?
Jayanti.
Oh, hi Jayanti.
Hi.
Okay. So guys, now you got LMS project. Now you got LMS project. So how you're going to kick off? And first, how you're going to get your credentials? Okay. Once you onboarded into LMS project, okay, into LMS project. As we discussed in our previous class that we are going to access our learning management system with a different URL, right? Okay. That URL will be like https client name -stage.plateau.com. Okay. learning@login.jsp. Guys, this is very important to remember your URL. Why? Because if you don't remember your URL, then it is going to be challenge for you in your first production activity, which I faced. You know, the activities what I have to do, what I have to perform in my production, more than 4 hours activity I performed in stage in my first implementation, and then again coming back and searching the same configuration in production. Okay, so it is very important to remember your URLs of the instance. Okay, guys, this is common. Okay, now let us say our Kiran got a project of HP, Hindustan Petroleum. Okay, then the URL will be like this. Okay, this is your URL. And your production URL will be without stage. What is stage here? We'll discuss in just after 5 minutes, guys. Okay. Now let us say Jayanti is going to implement for Adani Group. Okay. So in this case, okay, this is common, guys. So why I'm giving couple of examples is just you guys will not waste time like me. Okay, and in production, wasting 4 hours means very tough time. You cannot revoke that time. Why? Because you get only 3 days for the production movement. Okay, so guys, this is about your URLs. Okay, this is stage and this is production. Okay, so what is stage? What is staging environment? Staging environment is nothing but it is a combination of development and QA. Guys, only in LMS we use this word called staging. Now you may ask me one question, Sudhir, if my customer want a different development and different quality, can't they? Yes, they can. But with standard licensing, okay, with standard licensing, customer will get only 2 instances like stage and production. Okay, so obviously we are going to work on stage instance. Okay, obviously we are going to work on stage instance. Okay, so now staging environment. So who is going to give you this URL? Okay, who provide you this URL? Guys, before 2017, we used to get URL directly from project coordinator. Okay, SAP will share email to project coordinator from customer side. Okay, and that project coordinator will share to respective module owners. Okay, this is before 2017. Later on, SAP is sending one email to project coordinator in one Excel. Okay, in Excel spreadsheet, we get URLs and passwords of entire modules. Okay, actually this is not recommended, but SAP don't have that much time to share as of now. Initially, the customers were minimum, and now any mid-segment company also implementing Sfsf. Okay, so now they don't have time. They are sending everything in one Excel. Guys, this is very important to know. Why? Because last week I was conducting one assessment. I asked that person, how you got the credentials? Oh, we get our email. There is some ambiguity in her answer. She's not sure. Okay, right? So you should know all these things. Okay. So you'll be getting your instance credentials as of now in Excel sheet only. Okay, right? Now let us assume you got your instance details. Okay, so how you are going to log in for the first time? So for this one, this is a URL and the admin ID will be of Plato. Plato is the admin ID and password will be Plato. Okay, these are by default configurations, guys, or credentials. Okay, so with this you are going to log into your instance for the first time. Okay, guys, there is one thumb rule: never ever do any configuration with this log. Okay, this is the thumb rule. Why? Because this is a golden client. Whatever configuration you do or you perform with this client, that changes cannot be revoked or refreshed from SAP side. Okay, now you can ask me, Sudhir, why to change those configurations? Yes, we'll mark this for as of now. Okay, because if I give so much light in first class, you'll be confused. Okay, so as of now, you can remember one thing: you're not supposed to do any configurations from this Plato credential. But what you're going to do? First and foremost step, guys. First step is to create your own admin ID. your admin ID. Okay, first step is to create your admin ID. Okay, you have to change this password and inactive this account. Okay, and then create your own admin ID. Okay, first you have to create your own admin ID. Is the first and foremost step for any implementations. Okay, so how you are going to create your administrator ID? Let us dive into the instance. So guys, what is this instance? What we call this instance as? We discussed in our last session. This is a demo instance. Yes. Wonderful. So can every certified consultant get LMS demo instance?
Yes.
No.
Two demo instances.
Answer is correct, but not to my question. I'm asking any certified consultant will get, or can any certified consultant will get LMS demo instance? No.
Not
Only-
any, only LMS certified.
No. Not even.
No?
Customer from
Exactly.
customers.
Only for the no, not even customer. Only implementation partner. Right?
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
Only implementation partner will get demo instances. Okay. Only demo instances for only implementation partners. That too, one instance for one partner. And again, it depends upon the size of the partner. Companies like Infosys, Accenture, Deloitte, they have, in fact, PwC, they have couple of demo instances. Okay. Right?
And duration?
What duration here? I didn't get it.
Like for example, first they will give for 3 months. I have seen in PICKLIST, and again we have to ask permission, extend like that.
Oh, that is for the physics side. Means for success factor, as I told you in our last session, every certified consultant will get 2 demo instances for success factors. That will be expired in every 3 months. Okay, so you have to raise a request in your HCM Cloud Ops for the extension. Okay, you have to request for the extension. But the LMS instance, what your customer is getting, that is not extendable. Like it is for the lifetime for them. Okay, so unless until they withdraw their licensing, what I meant to say, their partnership with SAP, they will be available with the SAP partner. Okay, so it is not like a duration based. LMS demo instances is forever for the partners. Okay, so now let us see how to create your admin ID, guys. Okay, so we will discuss how to create admin ID in 2 times. Okay, first I will showcase you how to create, and when we are discussing about system admin, again we are going to touch base this concept. Okay, because as of now I am not going to discuss how to create roles. Okay, but the same will be discussed when we are discussing about the system admin piece. Okay, now as of now you just remember how to create administrator. That's it. Okay, so to create administrator it requires roles. Okay, all these things. But as of now, for the first time when you logged in, you have to create your own admin ID. Okay, now click on system admin. What are these, guys?
Yes.
These 4 are called tabs. This is my learning tab, this is my team tab, this is organization tab, and this is learning admin tab. Guys, these tabs are available for users based on the permissions of their account. Now, this my team will be available for the user who is having any direct reporting. Okay, now let us say if Kiran logged in, okay, he don't have any direct reporting, then he don't get this my team. Okay, now he created one user ID and if he marked that user as reporting to Kiran, then by default he'll be getting my team. Means LMS system is designed in such a way that if there is any activity performed for your account, there will be some workflows provided. These we call it as workflows. Okay. So as of now, you remember these four are called tabs: My Learning tab, My Team tab, Organization tab, and Admin tab. These are called tiles. T-I-L-E, tiles. Okay. Home tile, user tile, competency tile, learning tile, content, commerce, and system admin. We good? Now click on the system admin tile, guys. Under application admin, you can see admin management. Click on add new. Okay, so I'm going to create one admin ID called, let us say, create for Kiran. Okay, so admin Kiran is my admin ID. Okay, so give your any admin ID. Okay, any ID of your choice. And give first name and last name. Kiran. And what is this related user? This related user will be maintaining after creating of user. Means here we are creating only admin ID. Okay, if you map this user ID to the administrator, then this admin is holding this account of the user, or you can say the user Kiran is holding an admin ID of admin Kiran. Okay, guys, why? Because every user cannot be an admin, but every admin is a user. Okay, alright, I'll say again, every user in the organization cannot be an administrator, but every administrator in the organization will be a user. Okay, so because you have to maintain this, but we are only creating the admin ID. We are still in our first step, right? So give password. Okay, click on add. Okay, guys, what we did after clicking on add new, we gave admin ID, first name, last name, and we provided password. Okay, click on add. Okay, now admin ID is created. Okay, admin Kiran is created, right? Now, below summary you have assigned roles, right? Click on assigned roles menu. This we call as menus, guys. Okay, menu or menu. Alright, so click on this assigned roles menu. If you know that role ID, you can give. Okay, but best practice is click on add one or more from the list. Now you will be getting laundry list of roles which are available in learning management system. Okay, as this is a demo instance, we create a lot of roles, but in general we have only 6 roles. Okay, so with those roles only we are going to play around initially. Later on, as per your customer requirement, you are going to create roles accordingly. Okay, so first what you are going to do, you have to give all and all connector. Okay, can you see all and all connector? Click on add. Now you can see these roles available here. Okay. Now let us say I don't want this all connected to provide to your user ID. Then if you click on this checkbox, here you can see remove. Click on apply changes. Guys, in learning management system, apply changes is the final saving option. You don't have save many places. Apply changes is the save option. Okay. Now I gave only all role. All is like SAP all and SAP new in your SAP terminology. Okay. Basically, many HCM folks don't know about SAP all and SAP new because it is a basis activity. Okay. Guys, here in success factors, you don't have any technical resource like a mapper or web info consultant. You don't find anyone like your basis or security consultant. It is you who are going to take up these patterns. You will be the functional resource, you will be the technical resource, you will be the basis resource. All clubbed together is called success factors consultant. Okay, initially when you try for jobs, they'll ask you, sir, are you a technical resource or functional resource? No, we don't have any resource called technical or functional. Only one source, success factors consultant. That's it. Okay. So here the task what we are doing is assigning role is not the same consultant task, right? Basically, it is a basis task. Okay. So we assign roles. Click on apply changes. Guys, are we good in creating admin? This is the first and foremost step what you have to do.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Now let me log into the new ID what I created, admin Kiran. So then you can feel the difference. Guys, remember this thing. Okay. Here you have my learning, my team and organization. Okay. I'm signing out as admin. New pin. This is your certification question. Okay. What is this new pin? Electronic signature. Okay. So we will discuss this one when we are discussing on global variables. Okay. As of now, give your pin any pin. But if you give the same pin of your login ID, then system will throw error message. Because at any time your login ID and your pin shouldn't be the same. Okay. This is security question. Okay. Now I log in as admin Kiran. Okay. Yes, can you feel any difference?
There's no tabs.
Why? Because Kiran is only an administrator, right?
Yes.
So now what we do? Yes, guys. After this, the second step. Okay. Create your own user ID and map it with admin ID. Okay. Right? So now let us see how to create users. Okay. Click on this user style. Ensure users menu is checked. Click on add new. Okay. Click on this user tile. Ensure users menu is checked. Click on add new. Here you are going to create user manually. You can see this this is some backend configuration guys. Okay. So if I don't do anything here, ID will be auto generated. But I don't want like this. Okay. I want to create. Uncheck this auto create one. and give ID as Kiran, K capital. Okay. Guys, one humble request, you'll be getting access to this instance. Never ever upload your picture because we are running short of space. Okay. And in LMS, we don't upload pictures because you already have your employee pictures in your employee profile or employee central. Okay. There is no point of having pictures in two places. Right?
This user IDs also will be having, again we have to create in LMS.
No. Because user IDs will be auto-generated. It's not auto-generated from user connector. You will be importing these user IDs. Okay, 1 second, guys.
मैं डोमेन पब्लिक की चुना पब्लिक का एडमिन के लिए भी पब्लिक चुना उसने डोमेन.
Sorry, guys. Okay, so we don't create user IDs. Okay, this task is performed by the administrator who logged in for the first time. Okay. So my user ID is Kiran. Okay. Apart from that, I'm not going to maintain anything. But when you are creating user IDs, okay, maintain one hire date, guys. This will be very useful for your training purpose. Okay, this will be very useful for your training purpose. Okay, maintain your hire date and click on add. I'm not maintaining anything. Sorry?
Sir, why you choose the domain as a public?
Who's this?
Sana.
We will discuss later on all these things. Because see, if I want to explain everything, then you cannot understand. Okay, we will discuss everything. Okay, as of now we are discussing these piece. Okay, when you got your project, what you are going to do? First, you create your admin ID and then create your user ID and then map it to your admin ID. Okay, so we will discuss this later on. Okay, these domains and these roles, public, all these things. Okay, so click on add. Now you can see user Kiran ID is created, right? Now if you expand here, now you have some fields which you have to maintain. Okay, so don't mind for all these things. Okay, if you want to give user access, you are going to give password here only. Okay, you have to give password from here. Okay, I'm not going to into that. Okay, so now guys, we created user Kiran. Okay, we created admin ID, we created user Kiran, right? Now go to, guys, are we good? How to create user ID?
Yes.
Wonderful. Go to system admin, find for your ID admin Kiran. Click on edit here. Give related user as Kiran. Click on apply changes. Okay. Now you mapped this user ID to admin ID, right? Once you refresh, you can see my learning tab. Basically, the best practice is whatever configuration you did before testing, just log out and log in. Log out and log in. then only you'll be getting exact results. Why? Because it's a cloud system, right? The cloud. So many a times your configurations are saved here, but to test the cache files issue will be there. Okay. So use that logout and login option. Now I'm cross checking here in the user level. Yes, related admin is here. Now sign out and sign in.
Basically, for every user, one admin user will be there.
No, that's what I'm saying. Every user cannot be an admin. Now, for you people, everyone will have admin ID. Why? Because you have to use that. Because without admin, you cannot access anything. Okay. Now you got my learning and organization access. Okay. So now if you click on my learning, it is asking for new thing. This is for your user ID. Now this is the user page, guys. Okay. Now admin Kiran logged in as admin and he can access his learning page also. Okay. He can access his learning page. Okay. Why we are creating this user ID for the admin? Okay. In the project level. Okay. Here we created admin ID and you created your user ID, right? So why to create your user ID? Because we don't want to track our courses, right? Our information. But to test, we should require our user ID. Okay. So that is the only significance why we created your user ID and mark to or map it to your admin. Okay. Are we good guys so far? Wonderful.
Yes.
Then here the most important thing. Okay. So till now what you did is for the access level. Okay. The configuration part, this is the first one. Okay. First step in configurations is creating references. What is a reference or what are references I am speaking about? References. References are nothing but like PICKLIST values or drop down values which will be used while accessing your LMS. Okay, drop down values which will be used while accessing or while using your product. Using your LMS. Like, now the thing is we created user ID. Okay, so that user belongs to which country? It has to be there, right? That user belongs to what is his email address? And in which time zone he is working? What is his holiday calendar? Right? We have to maintain all these informations, right? And in that particular country, which location he is into. So we need to maintain everything here. Okay. How are we going to maintain? By references. Guys, this is the first and last change you will perform in your implementation. Why? Why? Because you don't get your references in one go from your customer. Okay, you know, many customers gave me references before go live date. Why? Because even they are not clear. See, as business need changes very frequently. See, business need is not fixed, right? Now let us say one simple logic. So where is the training happening? Okay, the trainings will happen as of now only in 8 locations. Now let us say SAP proposed one new location for other training. Okay, and you want to send your consultants. Now let us say Dubai. Okay, so there is a training for all implementation partner admins. Sorry, all customer admins. Then you will be sending your team, right? And that has to be maintained from the admin side. What I'm speaking is from the admin side. So then you have to create one more location. So likewise, these references are not one-time activity. You have to load your references many times. Okay, so we create references manually. Create references manually, and we load references. Okay, we have to do these two things. Okay, so what are references? References are like pick list values or drop down values, right? So now I'm navigating to admin account. So from where you're going to create your references, guys? We discussed only about these styles, right? If you go to your right side, you find references. You have these many references. You can create your date format pattern, create holidays, holiday profile, time zone management, work week profile. So here you're going to create your countries, geography. In geography, you'll create countries, locations, labels, locales. These locales, we'll discuss later on. Okay. We create references tomorrow, guys. Okay. So these are the references what you have to create. Now you can ask me, Sudhir, are we going to create all these references manually? No. We have one PDF file. Okay. From there you are going to import your references. Okay. So from this reference style, we are going to create reference. We will see these references tomorrow. Alright. Okay. References we will create manually and we load these references as well. Okay. We will discuss what are the references which we will be importing and what are the references which we have to create manually. Guys, from here you will be getting one interview question by sure. Okay, you can call this as a FAQ. From here you will be getting one interview question. Okay. So any doubts or any questions? The content what we discussed today, or in
if it is in physics suit is taken and the employee central is there, users are created already and we are adapting LMS. The user ID can pull from there while creating admin ID for LMS.
Yes. Now once you run your user connector, all your users will be available in LMS. Then you simply create your admin and map those users. So, any questions, guys? Any questions only from one?
I already trained in employee central, PMGM, recruitment, and I am HCM. I am in HCM last 11 years.
Oh, I can sense that the questions you are asking. I can sense that you will be success factors.
because I have implemented learning LSO and this one also, training and event management for multiple customers.
Oh, that's wonderful. Cool. Guys, for the next 2 days also, there will be something like this. Our session will be like Greek and Latin. Okay. Yes, you will come across with different terminologies and different screens, and you don't know what we are doing and why we are doing. Okay. Just hold on for a couple of days, then you'll be familiarized with the product. Okay. Guys, before wrapping up our session, I want to say our learning management system is well matured product in our SF suite. Why? Because in SF other modules, to achieve a task, you have only one way. But in LMS, to achieve a task, you have a couple of ways. And in some cases, you have 3 ways or 4 ways as well. Okay. It is up to you how you want to play around with the system. Okay. This is the comment provided by the customers. Initially, customers will say, Sudhir, we are facing many hardships while working with LMS. Why? Because they have to conduct their UAT, right? But after admin and user training, they say we have to take our word back. This is well matured product, wherein you can play around with this system from anywhere to anywhere. For other modules, there will be one sequence. Without finishing first step, you cannot go to second step. Okay, likewise. Okay, so guys, thanks for joining. Tomorrow we'll touch base at 7:30 sharp. I request everyone to join by sharp 7:30 because some of our friends are joining by 7:20 and they are waiting for you people. Okay, so let's start at 7:30 sharp and wrap it up by 8:30. Okay.
Okay.
That's wonderful. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
This meeting has been recorded.
One second. Who is this?
Yeah, this is Kiran.
1 second. Guys, coming to this recording. Okay. I don't provide any recordings. First point. Okay. If at all you are not attending the session, you just keep me posted well in advance so that I record the session. Okay. And these see again recordings doesn't be useful for you. Okay. So basically, my practice is we will conduct one backup session for the folks who miss the sessions. Okay, it is not like if 10 people missed all 10 sessions. No. Okay, if you inform well in advance, I'll record. Okay, and those recordings also will not be provided on regular basis. If you have any standard cause, there are some hard stops wherein you cannot miss that. So just let me know well in advance. Okay, and we will give. Okay, I'll record and share that video. And apart from that, sharing video, it is like a one-way traffic. You cannot ask your questions. Okay, so generally I prefer to conduct a backup session. Okay, every 10 days we'll have one backup session so that the task what you missed, you can cover it in the backup session. Okay, so that is a practice what I do. Okay, so this may be some issue for some people who are expecting recording, but I want to be clear well in advance that day-to-day recordings are not.
Yeah, it's okay. It's normal practice for any faculty.
Wonderful, guys. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.